and initiated contact in the morning. Kind of got into it really bad, and at that time they launched 3rd Platoon and 4th Platoon out to reinforce and support.
Okay, and about, what time of the day was that when they actually, I know that, it's been a long time and whatnot, times are not exact, but can I get us kind of an idea what time we're looking at, timeline?
I believe probably about anywhere from 04 to about 06, because the sun was just coming up.
Okay.
So anywhere during that time, that's pretty much when it started. I can't be too sure on that.
Okay. Do you happen to know kind of how I know you weren't there and all, but how did it start? I know that you said broadsword initiated, but what exactly happened that you understand?
From what I understand of the situation is that broadsword was setting up an OP, saw some guys running around with some mortars, initiated contact. Once that happened, it revealed their position, and more enemies started moving in on broadsword, got into a grenade fight, and then they called for support, and they started launching units out in the zone.
Okay, what units was again?
It was 3rd Platoon and 4th Platoon.
And you were 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. So at that time, they launched, the actual OP was actually in the city, Husepo. Do you mind showing us on the map?
Yeah. Like this camp down here, they were about in the middle of the city, about in this area. So they're like right in the middle of the road.
Okay, and both 1st and 3rd went there.
3rd and 4th. 3rd and 4th came out, and tried to help out, relieve pressure to broadsword to get him out of there. And 1st Platoon was on post, and 2nd and Kilo were held back in reserve for other situations.
Okay, so where were you during all this? During this time?
During this time, I was actually in the detention facility, the DFAT, and I was guarding, people that were under arrest.
Okay, so were there any prisoners that came in that day?
There were some close. It was probably about noon at that time. The fight had been going on for a while. Some Marines brought in a detainee, and when the detainee got there, one of the Marines, asked me, said, "Hey, Ruckel, do you know what this guy did?" And I was like, "No, sir." And he said, "This guy is responsible for killing your CO."
And that was Captain.
At the time, Captain Gannon, now
Okay.
Major Gannon.
Okay. So, what time or when did you get the word that your platoon was actually moving on to the city?
It was slightly after. It was probably about 12:30 or so when they came in and got us. We were relieved by 1st Platoon so they could watch detainees because 2nd Platoon was about to go out on a mission.
Okay. So, 2nd Platoon went out. What did they end up going?
2nd Platoon was responsible. There's a house down here in this corner. We had intel reports saying that there was some Mujahideen lieutenants there having a meeting, and we wanted them.
Okay. So, how did y'all, or what did y'all, did the entire platoon go out with you?
Yes. All of 2nd Platoon we were set out. We moved on foot. We came out. This is our back gate right here. We came out, went along 440 down underneath the railroad tracks, and started heading to the east.
Okay, I understand that the actual fire team you'd been assigned to had somehow or other been changed. You were reassigned. Could you explain that to us real quickly?
All right. Before we stepped off, my team leader, Lance Corporal Rose, got sick, started throwing up. Essentially, it would have been a bigger problem if we would have taken him out because we'd had to worry about him throwing up and stuff. So our platoon sergeant did the right thing, made the call saying that Lance Corporal Rose would not be able to operate with us. So he had to sit the fight out. And being a saw gunner, you're the 2nd team leader, like you're the backup, So I would have essentially became the team leader, but due to my status as, you know, a junior Marine, didn't have the experience, and it's not exactly a good idea to let a kid have his first leadership experience in a massive firefight. So they moved the senior saw gunner from 3rd team, which was Lance Corporal Stewart, to 1st team, made him the team leader, and moved me to 3rd team as a saw gunner.
Okay. And so from that point, you're moving out of the gate, and you are now with the new team.
Right. I was with 3rd team, 2nd squad.
Okay.
As we moved down, we went 2nd squad, 3rd squad, 1st squad. 2nd squad's lead trace was about right there when we took contact from the 440 area, from houses flanking us, from the house, our target houses, the train station, and the radio station.
Okay.
So essentially, it was, you know, a textbook L-shaped ambush.
Okay, which is a pretty lethal ambush as far as ambushes are concerned.
It does pretty good if it's set up right. This was set up pretty right.
Okay, so was there any particular action that the squad or the platoon took that initiated? I mean, when did they actually start firing on you?
They started firing on us. We got just past, the main element got just to the edge of 440, if not a little past. They initiated contact with medium machine gun fire, RPGs, which is a rocket propelled grenade. They hit the point man for 2nd squad, which is Lance Corporal Hughes. He took a burst machine gun round and shrapnel from an RPG, and so he was down and out of the fight. Okay,
I guess to back up real quick, there was a reason why y'all came up behind the railroad track. I mean, could you explain real quick how the railroad track offered some kind of, I assume, protection? And right. You said earlier that there was a ditch there as well?
Yeah, there's a little, like a storm drainage ditch. It's a little concrete, probably about, you know, maybe 3 foot wide, probably about 3 or 4 foot deep. But the railroad track itself was on an arc. You know, it's kind of gentle sloping, and here's that little, you know, what we were in. But we were train tracks here. You know, we're walking along here and down here, kind of covering us. You know, had a few guys up on the train tracks just to keep eyes open and stuff like that. And as you moved east, you know, it was kind of shallow down here, and then as you got further down, the ditch got deeper and deeper and offered more cover, essentially.
Okay, so I assume like railroad tracks in Iraq, they're pretty much the same as in the United States. They're kind of raised,
right?
So it's like a little berm. So
correct.
Okay, so not only did you have the ditches covered, you also had the track as well from the city. I assume from the railroad station and
yeah, so the railroad station and the train station. I mean, they had decent enough fire to keep us suppressed.
Okay, so I guess go back to the initiation. You were saying that the first Marine was hit. How was he hit again? You said he took machine gun fire and was hit by an RPG.
That's correct. He was hit by a burst of machine gun fire. He went down, and then an RPG landed, you know, a couple feet away from him. It wasn't a direct hit on him, or he probably would have, you know, died. But the RPG hit close to him, and shrapnel. He was peppered with shrapnel through his arms and legs. Lost the ability to use his arms and legs for a while. Had to learn to use them again.
Okay. And was there any of the Marines at that time hit as well?
After the opening burst, there was enemy forces here, like directly to our 12 o'clock. They initiated contact, and Corporal Stewart started firing back with his saw and was struck in the face by one of the enemies. The round traveled, skipped off his carrying handle of his saw and grazed him in the face, which saved his life.
Okay.
And Lance Corporal Mims was shot in the tricep, I believe his right tricep, and he was more or less okay. You know, he was still able to function.
Oh, so even though he was hitting the tricep, he was still fighting.
Right. He was trying